You mean 93?
2022.
Really?
Built it, yeah.
Okay.
Call the Mountain Bay Metropolitan Police Department Oversight Board to order. Can we have a roll call, please?
Yes, Mr. Zagami. Here. Mr. Maloney.
Here?
Mr. Helgeson.
Here.
Ms. Clark will be arriving shortly and Mr. Jablonski is excused.
Agenda item number 2, announcements and statements from the audience. Jim.
Thank you, Mr. President. Good afternoon to myself, by the Merrill Street, Weston. I want to thank the Oversight Board, Police Department staff, the Village of Weston and Village of Rothschild staff, Freeland Associates, HTG, and everyone involved with the planning involved in the Police Department building. I hope that we can continue to move this project forward to build a building which can better serve our community and facilitate the continued efficient operations of Mount Bay Metropolitan Police Department. I'm happy to see some of this story being told. I would encourage this body to continue to get more information out to the public and keep telling a story. I saw one social media post and a great pamphlet of information posted on the Mount Bay Metropolitan website, but I hope that we can do much more than that. I would expect to see each municipality individually tell the story and press releases be made to get this information out there. Behind the 8 ball on the timing of this. The information sharing should have started weeks or months ago, but let's not tarnish a good project by allowing misinformation out there. Please get much more of this narrative out to many more people. Our community supports this department, and we should be giving them enough data to support the construction of the building, a new building to operate out of. The justification of this expense is clear to me, but have you done everything you can to make it clear to everyone else? Thank you.
Thank you, Jim. Anybody online? On Zoom? Other than Tom?
Peyton?
Oh. Agenda item number 3, minutes of previous meeting, Oversight Board meeting minutes of June 18th, 2026. Anybody see any changes, corrections, omissions?
Vote to approve.
Second. Motion by Zagami, second by Maloney. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Agenda item number 4, budget to actual. Chief?
I have nothing to report other than normal information unless Melanie has something in there.
But just a comment, now that this display is halfway through the year, I think it looks pretty good. Revenue is overall just over 50%. Expenses just under 40% or 50%. I would expect the expenses to keep trending in a good direction now that I would assume most of the money spending has been done for the big stuff, so.
Good.
Yeah.
Thanks, Melanie. Thanks, Chief. Agenda item number 5, discussion and possible action regarding bids on building, bid consideration and next steps. Chief?
Well, I think we had a good showing today. There was 8 people that came in with bids. Tom is here to maybe answer any questions. Tom did a great job getting people to come in and bid on the project. So we were all kind of surprised and glad to see that we were closer to that $6 million number and not over the $7 million number. The 2 lowest bids on here are Hoft and 8 Pine. The difference is 4144, and when I say that, it's pulling out alternate number 3, which is the roller shades, just because those prices were all over the board, and I think we can do that later on. And number 5, which was the advanced AV system, and just stick with the basic AV system. When we went through that, there's a lot of stuff in that advanced system, and I think that's very expensive for us. At this point, at least we'll get into the building and know what our needs are before we spend a lot of money on it. So that puts Hoft at $6,390,500, and that puts 8 Pine at $6,394,644. So I think now as municipalities, we have to make a determination what we want to do as far as the borrow and how it's going to get paid back, and where we want to go with this. So.
Very good. Any questions for Chief? Discussion on that?
No, just question for Tom. Hoff has a lot of experience in building police department.
I don't recall off the top of my head their police department experience, but our firm has had a lot of real good experience with them on projects that we've done with them. So they were pre-approved, obviously. So
I had personal phone conversation with Hoff, Balin, and Eight Pine today multiple times on different questions. One question I had is on a cold storage building. Is that a state improved plan, and is it going to meet code for the Village of Weston? All of them said yes. Hoff said it will be if that's what it takes. So when they bid it, I think if they get the whole project, they're good. But Eight Pine was 100% in. All their plans submitted for state approval. No issues with any of that. I also asked each one of the three, because they're the lowest ones, what's the start date on it? Hoff said August, September of this year. Eight Pine said September of this year. And Balin said April of 27 with completion in 28. So there are ways out there. They were a little bit higher. I don't think either Eight Pine or Hoff have done a lot of police departments. They've done automotive shops, banks, and commercial properties and stuff like that. However, I don't think we're too difficult for what they're both looking at. So Eight Pines out of Chicago, and Shawano, and Hoff is out of Eau Claire. So
Tom, be approved them, so
what's that?
be approved, both of them.
Yeah.
Tom, quick question for you, Ryan with Rothschild. With all of these bids, can you refresh our memory? Are these not to exceed of the numbers that were presented?
I can
yes,
answer
these
that.
are contract dollars based on.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
I also verified that today when I talked to Hoff and Eight Pine. They said 100% guaranteed. If there's no change orders, that's the price.
Yeah.
Eight Pine felt very, very confident, and they also had it scheduled that they would have a supervisor on site for the majority of the work, and that was in their budget as well.
Just so I can, without having to do the math 8 times here. So, looking at, let's just take off that 63,9,500. That's including alternate 4. So that's without 5, obviously.
Yep.
And then does that also include 1 and 2
Yes.
and 3?
No,
We took 3 out because
Okay.
yeah.
It doesn't matter. So 1 and 2 plus 4,
Yep.
or it's 1 and 2 plus 5. All right, so that's all the same on every one of these. You can add on 3 as a la carte, whatever. All right, that makes sense. Thank you.
This does not include what you're seeing here, from my understanding, I'm going to say the 10% contingency fee, though,
Right.
or FF&E.
However, FF&E, I have a quote on that. It was 135. I don't believe that's a true quote. I believe that that'll be under the 135 because, when you get a quoted price, you want the most stuff you can get in there. But I think there's a cutback on that. So
When you originally said, Chief, that we'll take the roller shades, I'll do those later because they're all over the board, but they're all over the board with small numbers. So when you look at Hoft and Eight Pine, they're 120 grand off just on the cold storage. And then you look at basic AV, that's another 40 grand off. So those are some monster numbers when we kind of say that the roller shades are off because they're all over the board. They're all over the board on that cold storage and that basic AV, just with those 2, and those are the 2 low bidders. So I just, I've been through enough of these where there's a lot of surprises. And we sit here as a board thinking, damn it, we're 3/4 of the way through this building, and now they got us, by whatever, and now we got to keep moving forward. And road projects, it doesn't matter what it is. Some obstacle comes into play. So realistically, is that 163 doable? Now he comes back and tells us, Hoff does, that, it will be. Well, will be at whose expense? That's another 120 grand at, some of these other ones are in the 300s. They're the lowest by far. And then if you look at the AV, basic AV, they're 40 grand off of everybody else. That's a really big deal. And to me, that's a red flag. Something's wrong with Hoft if they're 40 grand off on the basic AV. And then if you look at the advanced AV, I don't know what it entails, but everybody's in a $2,000, $3,000 swing in the 120s, and they're sitting at 97. And then you got the roller shades. Yeah, it's a small number. They're sitting at 2,500. Do they understand what they're bidding? Those are three big red flags for me on Hoft. So I feel really good about I've seen Findorf stuff. I mean, Findorf did a bunch of stuff with DC Everest. Bolt didn't bid, but they did DC Everest. Myron did, us. I know what we went through. Share, we went through some stuff with them, which wasn't bad. The other ones I'm not familiar with. Oh, Ellis I am.
Well, part of 8 Pine is they were Myron back in the day. They left and went on their own
But how long ago did they leave?
2 years ago.
2 years ago. Did they have the infrastructure? What kind of buildings have they done in the past, in the last 2 years?
They just did the CWA airport, the expansion that was there. That was one of them.
Mhm.
When I talked to them, they're really, really good.
Which one?
The well three.
Oh, well, 3 they have.
Have you guys, they worked for you guys. Yep.
Okay. Okay, interesting. Just a couple comments, that's all.
I think those are very good comments. And I think in our office, we felt the same way with Hoff, that it just doesn't seem right.
Mhm.
However, 8 Pine and Balin, both to us, see perfectly fine,
Mhm.
You're talking, if you took
I
it
do
back,
know, yeah,
ahead.
sorry.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I think I think I can comment a little bit on the cold storage building with Hoft. I think where the others may be subbing that out to, Cleary or somebody like that, I think Hoft was trying to go after it by taking it on themselves, if that makes sense, doing it, designing it, building it in-house. And I said, well, whatever you do, you need to get it permitted by the state. So,
That makes total sense, going out to Cleary or somebody else. But Bayland, that's what they do.
mhm.
Bayland does storage buildings, that's what they build. Huh. Okay. I'm telling you, 8 bids in this short of time, at these numbers, I am thrilled to death. I'm thrilled to death.
Yeah.
Because I'm a positive person, but I was really, really hoping, for under 7, and I'm thinking, okay, it's gonna come in over 7. But this is phenomenal numbers, as far as I'm concerned. They must be really hungry, or, if I was a builder, I'd want to build a police department. I would want that in my resume. Other buildings get forgotten, but police departments, those kind of, fire departments, those get remembered. People look at those, Interesting.
Katrina.
What is the generator upgrade?
So initially, the generator was set up that it was going to run certain outlets in the police department. The generator upgrade is that it runs the whole police department, meaning if power goes out, the furnace and air conditioning units, garage door, heater, stuff like that, everything's going to run. So in a case of a bad natural disaster, we would be a spot that we could house people if we had to. And the other part is everybody working 24/7, 365. It'd be nice to have everything to run on a brand new building. I'd feel bad if the building froze because it wasn't there. So,
But it's a pretty standard building, and the 74 number is correct. The 132 number with Market
Yeah.
Johnson, that number there can handle a building, a $60,000, $70,000 refrigerated building like we run. That's what we pay, 130 to 150 to keep refrigeration going for weeks on end if we had to. And so I looked at that, and obviously that's a red flag that it's almost double of all the other 7.
Right.
So I think that's a really good number. And I think it's an important number to have, especially for the police department. So,
You're saying it is 70.
oh yeah,
70,000.
but it's also
Yeah.
necessary.
Yep.
I would definitely say it's necessary. I mean, I know when we built the Weston Municipal Center, I don't believe we had a generator at the old place. Yet we put a monster generator on the new one. And I kind of said, how many times did we need a generator on the last one? I don't know if there ever was a time, that we just don't have the power needs for that. And yet we put a monster generator on, so probably in the, well over 100 grand.
Yeah, it's just part of the base bid.
Yeah, okay. But we didn't put a gas station in, so we saved money. Anyway.
So any other questions regarding this?
Are we gonna apply for a grant for that generator?
When this starts moving, then we can. I didn't want to do anything until we knew what this bid. I think were chomping at the bit this morning to see what was going to happen.
I think they gave it to you.
Yeah.
But I think there's other grants. I mean, there's definitely probably some heating and cooling. There's probably some intergovernmental municipality stuff we could look at. A lighting grant probably too. So new buildings,
I think they gave it to you
Get a lighting
because you
grant.
have 3 municipalities, serving 3 municipalities.
Mhm.
That's a great plus for it.
Mhm.
And they're looking to get the grant out, so go after it.
But what else does this not include? Are there any systems or things in here, not in here, that we still need to add?
The only thing would be is any stuff inside the police department, like in that conference room for the desks. Some of the stuff that's FF&E stuff. Everything that's here is going to move to the new police department, except for roughly about $100,000 that we're going to have to buy extra stuff. The other thing is the line for connecting the city-county data fiber optic. And that pedestal is at Birch Street on the corner, right by 29 by the walking path. That pedestal runs all the way out to the landfill. So they have room on that pedestal, so that's where we'd have to connect into.
Where's the walking path on Birch?
Essentially at Birch and Highway 29.
Okay, I know. Okay, got it.
Yep, there's a pedestal there that's Marathon.
Walking bridge, yeah.
Any other discussion questions regarding this?
There's a pedestal on the north or south side.
I think it's actually on the south side. They would bore under 29.
There are two other things on the construction side from a testing standpoint that we can get our piece for you, but the owner needs to do, special inspections once the construction starts. And then also commissioning of the building, a commissioning agency. So, if you like, we can go ahead and get proposals for that work for you.
How much do they normally cost?
I knew you were going to ask that, and I should have found that out before this meeting. So I'm not sure. I need to find that out. So
Michael, do you know any of that?
Material testing is kind of depending on how intense or how lax you want it to be.
Did you have to do anything on the municipal building when you built it?
Yeah, we do material testing in all of our street projects, building projects.
What
So
about the commissioning of it?
that was included in our architect's fee initially.
We don't have any.
yeah, I don't think the testing, it's a pretty straightforward building, so I don't think the testing would be too bad. I don't know about the commissioning, but
Just a real quick one, and because it might get brought up. When we built the Weston Municipal Building, I had asked that we don't bring any names over from the old building. Who built it, who was here, who was on the commission, who was on the board, whatever. I just don't think it matters. I think it matters that it's the residents, it's the past, the current, the future, or it's the police officers. And if that comes up where we want to have some kind of a plaque on who we were, as a commission or who the boards were, I think that's immaterial. I don't think it should be any kind of plaque like that up there, unless we want to talk about the past, the current, or the future police officers. I don't know if everybody agrees, but I would certainly not want to be on there just because I happen to be on a commission or committee at the time. So,
Sorry, that commissioning cost is gonna be between 50 cents to $1.50 per square foot.
and what are we at, 26, 27?
27.
27.
yeah.
So
So if you take an average,
14,000, 50 cents a square foot.
be $1, say 30,000. Makes sense, 30,000?
I think that's a good budget number at this point.
And then for Katrina's question too, the 10% we talked about before she walked in here. So there's a 10%, and then also something else? One more thing?
What was the 10%?
It's for
Contingency, yeah.
Yeah,
on top of whatever you're seeing.
Yes, from what you're looking at, just, what's here what's on here that we can't see.
Yeah.
10% is not here, so.
They were saying though, the bid's a bid.
Yeah.
But that's an always contingency, right? So
Yeah.
I haven't, I can't think of one that I was part of that I haven't seen something
I'll
like.
have to go over.
I'm sorry. I'm more used to seeing, things come in and added on. We fell into this. Look at all the rock we fell into on Weston Avenue. We're blowing up half the world back there. So,
Okay.
Right, so moving forward, we need to
Yep.
put it to a motion to move this out to the municipalities.
well, does this board say yes to one of these and then it
I
goes?
think this board would decide
Yeah.
which one they want to use. And then that would be the dollar that would get pushed out there.
To the municipalities.
And I think the decision would have to be made, which alternates do you want?
Mhm.
1, 2, 3, and 4, and leave 5 out? Or leave 3 and 5 out, and after the building's up, we end up putting blinds up as needed that we're gonna use. Just so we're not doing something overkill, or it's included and done with it.
The big one for me is the alternate 4 and 5. What is the $30,000 extra for the advanced AV? What are we talking? Controls?
So Village of Weston has the controls in the ceiling.
Mhm.
The upgrade had the controls in the ceiling, like you guys have with the speakers.
Mhm.
It also had a projection in the ceiling that was in there. Tom, Amy, we were on that meeting for that. So the basic AV had wiring and stuff in there, had the 2 display TVs in the front, and was more just the basic setup on it.
So a $40,000 upgrade for speaker in the ceiling, which to this day, I'm not happy with at Weston
Mhm.
at all.
Right.
I think we should have had the mics. Jim will attest. I think we could have done something else. I would definitely not do the advanced. So I think this works pretty well here. You've got this set up pretty well here, and I've listened to it before. But to not have those mics right there, Rib Mountain has the mics. Our mics work really well, but I don't think those speakers pick up like they should, like they're supposed to.
I agree.
Not by design at all. And for 30 or 40 grand more for that? No. And so where are we talking for this advanced AV? Just in a couple rooms?
It's in the courtroom and the training room.
Oh,
Disadvantage is this wire running all over the place, all over the floor.
Yep.
So,
Well, I know, but so if we don't have the wire running all over the floor and yet it doesn't work, I would take the wiring.
well, they better make it.
I would take the wire, but we haven't made it work in Weston. It's still not working. So
You guys remember all the difference between alternate 4 and 5? Amy?
So base bid was basically putting in the infrastructure, what I want to say,
conduit and wiring, right?
conduit and wiring.
Yeah.
Then the 4 was kind of a basic version, the 2 TVs in the courtroom, and then we had a setup for mics. It was just kind of more of it wasn't going to fit the whole room. We kind of decided that it was kind of more of a whatever works kind of for the size. It was just to get something in there and working. And then the overall 5, that was like the whole bells and whistles, everything upgraded so that the whole room should be workable. And I think it had larger monitors. I'd have to double check the drawings to see specifically
It
each
also had,
item.
it also had cameras in there for recording and stuff like that for YouTube instead of using
Right.
the system we're currently using.
the system in Weston was not that expensive for recording. I know we did it right during COVID, right after COVID, because we were leasing it from the county and we ended up buying it ourselves with COVID money and it wasn't that expensive. But, so what kind of wires are we talking, on basic and advanced? I mean, like CAD 5, I mean, the highest level of, in the wall wiring?
Yeah. Yes. It
Yes.
has to do, the difference between the two is more the equipment. And
Okay.
then, and as soon as you research into any of this, the sky's kind of the limit on what you can spend. So, but the wiring, the infrastructure would be there. in either case. One other thing on alternate number 3, so there are mini blinds that are included in the base bid. Alternate number 3 is to switch the mini blinds on the exterior windows to a roller shade.
Oh, I didn't know that. Good. Mini blinds are fine.
I guess I'm still confused about the basic versus the upgraded AV system then. I mean, does the basic give us functioning TV monitors and recording abilities?
Gives us all the wiring and the conduit, synthetic.
That's all inside.
Yeah, that's
You
it.
just said it's the equipment on the outside, or she did.
Correct.
An extra 30 or 40 grand is gonna be the equipment that we can see and touch.
Amy,
Do we want them doing that, or do we want a specialty company doing that?
We would like to get into the building and see what our needs are.
Yeah.
And then deal with it after that, and maybe it won't be that cost that's associated with it.
If we don't have to tear up the walls, if
Correct.
the inside of the walls is the same, then I say it's basic.
Yeah, I would agree.
I would say.
I would agree.
Amy, what I believe Katrina is asking is on the bids themselves, when we look at the base bid of the building, then we look at the basic AV and the advanced AV, what are we getting from the base bid versus to the basic AV system? Is there any difference? Clearly, there's got to be something.
Right. It's going to be more equipment and better quality equipment, I would say. Like I think because we talked about adding extra mics in on the alternate 5. We were talking about doing extra mics. I'd have to
Because I think what
open the drawings here.
Yeah,
I think
the
what the
camera
question-
system is part of the alternate 5 too.
Yeah.
Wait, no, I want is there only 2 AV bids? Because you just made it sound like there's AV in the base bid.
That's how I'm interpreting it.
So I'm assuming there's no AV in the base bid, and then you either go with the basic or the advanced.
I don't know. I see what you're saying, but I don't.
Or whoever, can you answer that question? Are there 3 AV marks here? Does the base bid have AV included? Or to get any AV, you got to do alternate 4? At least.
I was under the interpretation that, yeah, with the first base bid, that would have your basics. You could function if you needed to. Basic would be like, I'm going to say a mid-grade.
Mhm.
Then the alternate high end would be like your Cadillac. I could be wrong, you know.
So Tom, I'm looking at, I don't know if you have that open or not, but it's this courtroom training room on page 5 of the specs. And so in here it says from the AV people or the designer, the base bid, the contractor will provide. So just for the base bid, contractor will provide rough-in for devices, blocking for displays, and a wall-mounted AV rack for future AV equipment. So that's for the courtroom. And then provide 2 alternate prices for the basic and advanced AV. This room with turnkey AV solution. Alternate 4, basic, provide and complete an AV solution that includes video routing and sound reinforcement. The video routing solution will include a USB-C input at the presenter table that can be displayed on 2 large flat panel displays at front of the room. The sound reinforcement will include a 4-channel wireless microphone system with 3 gooseneck microphones and 1 handheld microphone. The microphone audio and laptop generated audio will play through a series of ceiling speakers and also be available through an assistive listening system. The system will be controlled from a single wall unit, 7 touch panel. The flat displays in the alternate shall be the less expensive 300 NIT prosumer product. The major system components, and then it goes into listen a VoIP encoder, 7-inch touch panel controller, 2 A VoIP decoders, 2 flat panel displays, 4-channel wireless microphone receiver with remote antenna antennas, 3 gooseneck wireless microphone transmitters, 1 handheld wireless microphone transmitter, digital signal processor, AV network switch, audio amplifier, ceiling speakers as drawn, assistive listening system. So that's your alternate 4.
So what's in the base bid is just the rough ends,
Right.
no equipment.
I don't have a problem if we go to a base bid and figure out what we need after we get in there because of the cost on this stuff. It's a lot of money.
Mhm.
I have a hard time and all of a sudden you get in there and what if you never use it?
Mhm.
So you take both of them out of there. And I mean, that's almost $100,000 just to have wiring. I'd be good. And I think everybody in the police department would be good to get the building done, have the conduit in there.
But the wiring inside the walls and all set up ready, that's a big deal.
But they would have in that base, the conduit would all be there for it.
The rough ends are there. Yeah,
All the conduit would be there. You could run the wires later on, correct?
that's my understanding. Yeah. And so then you can negotiate with someone that you know or trust or whatever, a vendor or a couple vendors, and be more specific about what their systems are and more knowledgeable about what they're.
Like Nate Crow.
I agree with chief. We should.
So you're saying go with the base bid and throw out 4 and 5.
Correct.
I'm fine with that.
Because I'm afraid of having stuff that we're not going to use or need.
I'm fine. So the biggest important things we have to do is a courtroom, probably a conference room for the police department.
Yeah.
Do you have interviewing rooms that you have to have sound or, recording stuff in there or not?
Yes, but the roughage should all be there for those.
Got it. Okay.
And then,
4 and 5 are out. Okay.
Did I hear
Really?
3 is out? 3 is out as well.
Yes.
correct,
Well, 3 is out too?
Alternate 5 is out.
Wow.
because we already have blinds and that was just an upgrade, and we might as well keep what we have. This building's had blinds for 30 years.
Well, then you're looking at the base bid, alternate 1 and alternate 2.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
So for, however we say that H word, just 6,337,000. And then 8 Pine would be 6,309,000. Oh, what?
$36,000 swing. With 8 Pine being the lowest.
What was 8 Pine again?
6,300,901.
I know.
What is Balin? At that point?
Didn't do something we were really talking about.
They're 6,379,307.
Say it again, Michael?
6,379,307.
And Huft was how much again? 6,
337,000.
Yep.
gotcha.
And 8 Pine built what?
They did work for you guys on one of your water plants,
Right.
and they just did the CWA additional
And where are they located?
channel.
Okay.
I was looking at the information they submitted. They had the New London Library project listed.
And they're doing work currently for DCFS School District.
Have you worked with them?
I have not, no.
We are right now.
No, half.
Oh, okay. Oh, Hoft, okay.
So you're working with 8
8
Pine
Pine
right now?
But 8 Pine's got the number right now. Or, I mean,
Yeah.
doesn't 8 Pine have the number?
Yep.
Right here? By how much?
Oh,
6 million.
36,000.
6,300,901.
What is your experience with 8 Pine to date?
Good. That's what he says. Yeah,
No problem.
They're doing a water,
Yeah, they've been fine. I mean, we've worked with Myron, Shearer, Ellis, 8 Pine. I don't want to say they're all the same, but they're kind. Yeah.
Okay, good. So with that said, we need to come up with a bid that going to get this.
So we're
moving
gonna,
forward.
we're gonna take out, the cold storage is in, the generator's in, 4 is out, 5 is out.
Three is
and
out.
alternate 3 is out,
Yes,
right? So this is gonna be a base bid plus alternate 1 and alternate 2,
yes,
correct?
Correct.
yes.
I'll make a motion. Are we ready for it?
Ready?
Yeah.
Ready?
I'll make a motion, that we select 8 Pine as our contractor, to move this forward with the new Mountain Bay Metropolitan Police Department.
And what, with the base bid?
Yeah, with the base bid of
Okay.
$5,944,000
Okay,
plus 284,434. Alternate 1 plus alternate 2 of $72,467.
with the
For a
total of,
total of
6,300,901.
901,
yes,
000.
Yep.
901.
That's my motion.
perfect.
We have a second.
Second,
Motion by Maloney, second by Clark. All those in favor? Well, roll call vote.
Yeah, I would say roll call vote.
Okay, it'd be Mr. Maloney,
Yes.
Mr. Zagami,
Yes.
Ms. Clark,
Yes.
and Mr. Helgeson.
Yes. Motion carried. Agenda item number 6.
We just gotta stop for a minute. So I'm sorry. That is unfrickin' believable. Number 700,000. I'm so stunned. I can't even believe it. I can't. That is huge,
Yeah.
huge. I'm bringing cupcakes next time. All right. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
That's all right.
Yeah,
No,
all right.
That's good. That's good.
Mhm.
It is a good feeling to have that
Mhm.
under 7.
Mhm.
Agenda item number 6, discussion possible action regarding payback for Mountain Bay Metropolitan Police Department building. Right?
Yeah, I think that this is the time and place that we gotta start talking about the borrow and how it's gonna get paid back in the police department budget. Talked all along that the police department was gonna pay it back. The borrow is gonna be for 20 years, but the discussion along the way has been payback at 35 years for the police department because of the borrow. It would be a little bit more than the budget can handle, so. Go ahead.
Yeah, it'd be, kind of like we talked at the last meeting, I think it was June 18th. Really what we'd be looking at or proposing, it's a little bit different from your normal capital improvement project, but the borrow for both Weston and Rothschild would have to be a 20-year bond.
Mhm.
However, what we would do is we'd sign an intergovernmental agreement between essentially the Mountain Bay Metropolitan Police Department with the Village of Weston and then with the Village of Rothschild. And you'd have a separate amortization schedule in there. So it would take into consideration your interest payment, the principal payment, along with the bond borrowing council payment. So like for the Village of Rothschild would be probably $50,000 for like administrative costs, where Weston, I'm guessing you guys would be in that 75,000, 80,000 ballpark on the borrow itself. And you guys, it sounds like talking with Jamie, and maybe Michael knows too, but the borrow for you guys would have to happen in 2027 so that you stay under the 10 million threshold, which makes sense. For us, we need to know by the next meeting, in August, the Village of Rothschild needs to know and has to figure out some type of an intergovernmental agreement that both the Village of Weston and Village of Rothschild agree to with the Mountain Bay Metropolitan Police Department, because that's how our bond, I think Quarles and Brady is going to be our bond counsel, but they're going to look at this, and this is going to be a big factor for them to know that when we go and borrow, that the taxpayer essentially, they're being paid back in a way. And what I mean by that is the Village of Rothschild and the Village of Weston, and this is a concept that's really hard to put in writing, right? But what you're seeing is you're having that payback from the actual budget itself. And the reason why you're having that payback is because if you had the two different entities before we merged, our growth rates were at a totally different amount. Everest Metro maybe was 8, 9, 10% growth. We were experiencing years where maybe we were actually decreasing or increasing. So it's insufficient amounts. Here, what you're seeing is more of that calculated growth risk. And then you're going to have that payback coming from the police department, but that payback can only be made official through an intergovernmental agreement. And that's where then that bond council says, and this is how it kind of circles back, because what that bond council is going to say, I've certainly for the Village of Rothschild, and I've amended for the Village of Weston, they don't want to have a municipality take on debt that the project isn't going to happen. I realize we made the motion today already to pass to the municipalities to make that motion in the next meeting or two or whatever, but we, at least for the Village of Rothschild, have to have that intergovernmental agreement in place and know how the payments are going to work outside of the actual bond payment, because it's critical that the police department is built in that way to be paying it back. And so it's just kind of all, I know it's cumbersome, and I think you guys can grasp it, but it's a unique situation unlike other projects.
Questions for Ryan? Chief?
Yeah, by doing this, are we at incurring any more dollars to the taxpayer? You know, because some people are critiquing a little bit that, I mean, why are we doing this? Why are we putting the budget on them? Have we done this in the past? Did EMPD ever have to pay Weston back for buildings? I don't believe so. And it's never been in the budget that way. So are we incurring more dollars? You know, we're doing the initial loan for 20 years at each municipality, but now we're going to do a 35-year note, you know, and then have them pay back to two municipalities, incur more interest and their budget. I mean, so in the long run, is it going to cost the taxpayer more money by doing it this way?
No, and the reason being is that the growth factor.
No, it's good. That's it. Fine. No, it's good. I'm fine.
So when the police department gonna bring the money to pay us back? Is it gonna
In their
be
budget.
part of your budget?
Yep.
Right.
Current budget.
That's what I mean. It'll be worked right into the budget.
That's so
Mhm.
still we're gonna pay it
Mhm.
So, yeah,
directly through the village, through the police.
the taxpayer, you will see a change. However, it's an accordion change. And the reason being is that like for the Village of Rothschild, we know that at that 2.5 million, it was going to cost for a $300,000 home. It was $5 and I think 50 or 40 cents per month. And so for the Village of Rothschild, yes, in that 20-year note, you're going to see a change for that police department building. However, what's I'm going to say the icing on the cake is that the PD is actually paying back that amount. So the taxpayer themselves, if we didn't have that merged department and we were going to go and increase in a different incremental way, it would likely end up costing that taxpayer more dollars than what it would if you had this department, number one. And number two, with those dollars coming back to pay down that debt or that principal. But what you're seeing here is just it's a payback. So the municipality, it's not like it's going to be a levied amount where it's going to be one of those, unfortunately, it's going to be a roller coaster because you're going to see this levy go up, but likely, at least for the Village of Rothschild, just because our levy went up, we're not going to keep at a certain pace where that borrowing threshold is going to say to the Village of Rothschild, hey, we're going to keep borrowing at that same amount because now we added in a PD building. That's not the case. It's a borrowing for a one-time, essentially capital purchase like that, and then you're backing itself back down. So that would be, to your question, Mark, that is to me the difference.
And the other thing on here, I don't believe that. I got a question for Ryan.
Yeah.
On the bonding, as the PD grows in future budgets and you have excess cash capability, there is no prepayment penalty with the bonds,
Yep.
is there?
No, there's not. And that's exactly what we talked about in the.
I remember that discussion. Okay.
So then at some point in time, that 35-year could be paid back in a shorter period of time.
Mhm.
There's nothing holding the police department back, Mountain Bay, from prepaying that debt.
Right. Mhm.
So moving forward, so that would be further enhancement for the taxpayers off of that.
And the other part is the police department still is that standalone entity.
Right.
If it would ever dissolve, the building gets sold
Mhm.
and the money goes back to the municipalities or
Paid back. Yep.
Correct. I'm sorry, Tom and Amy, if you guys work, I think we're good with you guys. So thanks for
Okay,
tuning in.
sounds
Okay.
Thank you for your help.
all right.
Yes, thank you.
Yep,
Tom and
thank
Amy.
you.
So any further discussion on this? Then we need to go to a motion to approve the payback as discussed. 20-year and then the 35-year.
Well, I don't have the 35 part of it yet because we haven't brought that to you guys, but it's going to be a 20-year note. And I know Village of Rothschild's already discussed that with our village board about what that hypothetical looked like months ago already. They have not, Village of Rothschild hasn't said, yep, we're officially borrowing that amount yet, though. They agreed to borrow it with the hypothetical, but it's not committed yet. And I don't know for Weston, my understanding is Jamie did bring it to the village board.
Right.
Okay, so then at least the village board's aware of what that looks like then for you guys.
We brought it at $7 million with a 65-35.
Okay.
Yep.
So how do you want this in a motion then? Going forward?
Yeah, I don't know if we necessarily, I think it was more of a discussion basis to make sure we're on the same page,
No motions needed.
not for number 6.
That's fine. All right. Are we ready for moving on to number 7?
Sure.
Agenda item number 7, discussion possible action regarding intergovernmental agreement between Mountain Bay Metropolitan Police Department, Village of Weston, and the Village of Rothschild.
And I think this ties in back to number 6. So this is just a draft agreement. This is just a thought process suggestion is all it is right now. But that's something that Brian said would have to be signed to move forward and get the building started, is the borrow that both municipalities borrow to pay for it.
This is where now that we know the building costs, and I know Michael had brought this up to me earlier today, obviously there's going to be interest tied into this as well, right?
Mhm.
Now we know that both Rothschild and Weston, we can at least go get hypothetical amortization schedules from you guys. It would be Ellers. From us, it's from Baird. So I can now email and at least get a pro forma completed, because I would think we would want to attach those payment plan structures into the intergovernmental agreement, correct?
At least you can see if there's any other wording stuff.
Right, yeah, I mean,
In the.
it's a foundation, but I'm looking at more towards the Village of Weston board members here. Would you guys agree that that's something you'd want to see in this agreement? I would imagine that payment structure, right? Okay. Then from you guys, yeah, and I'll talk with Jamie or Michael. I'm sure he'll fill her in too, but we'll have to have Ellers, put that together, and then we'll do the same. But is there anything that's like, again, it's a foundation, but is there anything in this intergovernmental agreement that's jumping out that you're saying, hey, I really want to see this, or strike that, or?
Well, let's see what they come up. They should give us that agreement first. We read the agreement, and then we can make our comment on that based on.
You sent it out on, did we send it out?
This.
That's not online. This is just the intergovernmental agreement. Is that what you're saying?
Well, I haven't seen that yet.
It's in here.
It's in your packet.
Yeah.
I just,
Yep. Yeah, I kind of breezed through it and then I saw the signatures in the back. I go, oh, this is pretty important.
I guess one question I did have on page 2, where it says the scope of the project, it says new construction.
What number?
Just number
2A.
2.
Okay.
So I guess when you say new construction, is that just the construction contract then with the contractor, or does that include architect engineering contracts? Does that include, I guess, just trying to.
What's all included in there? We can list that out and exactly what's in it. I have to look back the last meeting. I know we talked about what was going to fall under the 7 million structure and then what was going to come out of just the normal budget.
Yeah.
Right. So we can list that.
And the biggest part, we need the bid to see what we were.
And I guess for number 5, when it says Rothschild is the 5A, the administration of the construction contract, does that just mean you guys are handling the payments to the contractor and those items?
Yeah. Yep. We can word that differently, however you guys see fit. It's not that we're the owner, because the chief will be the owner, as we had talked, but
Agent.
yeah, owner agent, but then we would be the fiscal agent per the charter.
so say we're gonna borrow 7 million. Right?
Yeah,
Well, we wouldn't have to borrow 7 if
it's together you're borrowing. It depends, and that's another question that is going to come up, I think, after the amortization schedule is complete, of do we really want to hold a 10% contingency? And if so, then I would think we'd want to have that as part of our borrowed funds, or do we want to roll with 8% or 7%, whatever that is, knowing that this is an all-in package? But exactly what you said, Mark, and I agree, and I'm sure Michael could attest to it. I don't think we really have a lot of projects anymore where we don't have a change.
Well, we just, by doing this, we just put that 10% under 7 million.
Right.
I mean, our 4.5 borrow is now 4,095. That's a huge savings, and your 2,500 is now a 2,205.
Mhm.
That's big time.
Yep.
So.
Yeah, so that essentially the information to the public
Oh.
may be a little skewed. We aimed higher than what probably it will actually impact them. Yes. But if there's anything, I mean, I'm not looking for you, I don't think either, Chief Hunt is either, but I don't think we're looking for an actual motion on this yet because there has to be more additions.
Right.
But it's a framework. And if you guys can take, the next week or two, read through it, reach back out to Chief Hunt with some suggestions that you'd like to see on it, that would be great. Cause then,
To this point, whatever, if we've had a contract or not have a contract, it doesn't matter. Our municipalities are talking. We're working together at all levels, director level, every single administrator, the boards are probably the least, other than here, so.
Right.
But I know this is important, but I know that we're gonna put our hands up, we're gonna ask questions, people are gonna get involved, like we had, wanted Tim and Mike to jump in here and help us a bit. This is good stuff. This is really, really good stuff. And this is really what it's about. If it takes a contract to hold us together, shame on us, so.
well, it's not really, I don't think it's the municipality, it's
I know.
finance.
It is, yep, it's a finance side. Well, finance, you got it. Okay.
I think, first of all, Ryan, you did a good job on putting this thing together.
Mhm. Yes, he is.
You did.
Chief Hunt.
Yeah,
Chief Hunt.
Chief.
Yep.
So it's a good, I think you drafted it, with your law school education that you had.
Teamwork.
Ryan, has some law schooling within his degree. Ryan, the only question I had on item number 5, part B, you had any balances beyond 30 days shall accrue interest at a rate of 5% per month, retroactive. Now, if you would accumulate that out to a year, that's 60% interest on that. Is that legal? That's absorbing it?
We can
The
kind of
use areas?
I mean, it's just something that I know we've went back and forth with on other intergovernmental agreements.
So that is another.
Yeah, that 5% is not uncommon.
Okay. All right.
Michael's, would attest to that too.
And that 30 days is the invoicing from Rothschild, not the original invoicing.
You got it, because we would just pay it.
If you want to hold on to it for 90 days, that's up to you. So.
Yes.
Mhm.
It'll cost you.
Mhm.
Either one. I think it's good.
Yes,
And
you
you're
guys
looking
could
for
just,
input after we go through this.
send it over to,
So.
send it over to Chief Hunt, review it. It's a bare bone basic draft right now. There will definitely be additions to it, but just wanted you guys' input.
Good.
Yeah. Okay. Jamie seen this?
Yeah.
Yes,
Okay,
yeah, I sent it to her.
good. What day?
Short notice because we just got it done. It was a couple days ago.
Fine then, that's fine.
I talked to her on it yesterday.
We just talked several times this week, so I just, today, I know she's off today and tomorrow.
We talked on it yesterday afternoon
Had some meeting.
and, so,
We're good.
and it's just framework. It's not to be signed.
Okay, very good. Any other questions for Chief and Ryan?
So right now, you just want to know that we're heading in the right direction.
Right.
Okay, good. Okay.
Likely we will bring a final draft to come to you guys, or at least darn final, pretty close to it in August, and then for sure in September.
Good.
Okay.
Good, very good.
And I don't know, how long can we wait on this bid?
What do you mean?
It'll have to be done in August.
The agreement is separate from the bid.
Yeah, but they've got to know.
Yeah,
We got to say yes to 8 pints, is what I'm saying.
I think this has to be done in August.
They want to start in
I think it
September.
does too.
I think the sooner the better. And if that means a separate meeting, then we got to have a meeting.
I agree with you. I think that this all has to be done in roughly 30 days.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Ready to move on a little?
Yeah.
We on agenda item number 8, any announcements and statements from the Oversight Board?
Can you? I'm sorry,
Any announcements or statements from the Oversight Board?
not for me. Anybody else?
Then we need to set the date, time and agenda, date and time for the next meeting.
If we look at the calendar, the third Thursday in August would be the 20th.
20th. And if we need a meeting before that to get these intergovernmental agreement together?
Well,
But that's on financing. So to pull the pin with the contractor, we get yeses from both boards,
Yeah.
then we can pull the pin,
By August.
right?
Yeah.
So
Okay.
so if we have this on our agenda Monday night and get a yes out of our board, and then yours is when?
Monday,
27.
next 27th.
The 27th, the week after. So we could
27th.
actually
Mhm.
pull that
Yeah.
pin in a week and a half
Mhm.
with 8 pine, because 8 pine is saying September. Hoff said August, possibly September. 8 Pine said September.
It says,
Bayland said 27 and finished 28.
if, you know, 8 Pine said completion of July of next year, starting in September.
Yeah, September. September. So
They
it's,
said they would be done in 10 months.
yeah, okay.
So the next meeting will be August 20th, 3:30.
That is what I have. Yes.
Okay? Do we have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Motion by Maloney, second by Zagami. All those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? We're now adjourned. Thank you.